go?
It's a truck. I wanted a truck. It was cheap, and it was in good condition. End of story. Simple as that.
So you chose Nissan Hardbody. Why didn't you choose a Toyota then?
No one had a Toyota sitting in their garage for 10 years with 6,000 miles for $3,000. So
That's
you
fair.
tell me.
That's fair enough. Okay, so how much did you buy this truck for?
$3,000.
$3,000. And it had how many miles again?
At the time, I think it was 16,000.
16,000 miles. And that was, what, 2016?
That'd have been 2014.
2014?
Yeah, it was 2014.
So this truck's been around for a long time. And,
It was a 95, so yeah, it's considered antique.
well, no, but it's been in your possession a long time.
If you want to call it that, I'm pretty sure it's been in your possession longer.
Actually, that's fucked up.
Let's be honest.
Okay, so anyways, and there's the Nissan Hardbody works great. It's one of the most reliable trucks out there.
Yep.
Except for yours.
When it's driving.
When it works, it's good.
The black one we got's great.
Yeah.
Yes, this was all recorded on the same day, at the same time, at the same area. All after the fact. Ignore that fact. Go.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll figure that out. Anyway, so, yeah, this is from the future, but what I'm about to show is when, I would say this was 2 years after picking your truck up, at least, wasn't it, that I found the Nissan Xterra, because we searched for a while for an engine for this truck and could not find one because they're not blown up, because they are reliable most of the time.
Most of the time.
There's very few that are, there's very few pickups that have the V6. They're all 4-cylinders. So it made it a real rarity. The only other VG30 around is in the 300 cars, and those ones have a totally different setup on top. So we ended up with the VG33 because, well, the Xterra had it and it's mostly compatible. We found out there's a little bit more to it than we thought, but anyways, this is going to be us taking apart the Xterra and harvesting that engine and getting them side by side.
All right. 1,000-pound engine stand. We're unboxing it. Yeah.
Already done.
Because we have a VG33 that works, but we need parts
Good old silver Raider.
from this VG30 that definitely did not have a happy life.
No.
Its life was cut very short.
As you can see, it's also missing a piston.
It's missing a few parts, some of which are laying around. You really cleared out a lot of space to move this
Hey man,
engine.
I had like,
What's this piston? This is from the big block?
yeah, that's from my big block.
Yeah, is that free?
No. As you can tell, look at the damage that's inside of here. That's what caused the motor to go out of mine.
Yeah, that looks like it.
Right there.
I want a big block piston.
Oh,
I'll hang it on off my bumper.
that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna go right here.
Shoot. I was gonna hang it off to the side.
Well, I have 7 more if you want one.
Okay. I'll take 2.
So say you want to get the block someday and bring it over here?
Where'd this alternator come from?
Oh, it was mine.
Oh,
It's trash, don't worry about it.
cool.
I love how all the scrap that you have, you know your scrap.
Yeah. I know an alternator that ain't mine.
Alright. Which, this is like absolutely, completely identical to that one, which this one came from, I have no idea, but some other brand, not from Harbor Freight, but looks like Harbor Freight just copied that. Good for small blocks, not for big blocks. That thing struggled big time.
Yeah. You see how this thing's kind of dive down.
This one's angled as it is.
Yeah, no, it didn't used to be like that.
Granted, that engine is fully loaded with accessories and everything, but still. Hopefully this one is better. That one was... You remember how I got that one?
Yeah, it was behind your work.
It was behind my work, by the dumpster for free.
Someone just dropped it off.
I figured there might have been a reason why, but I think now I know why. It's
Old.
not that strong.
Ooh.
See how quickly I can assemble this.
Here.
I
got
hold
this.
it. No, you need the muscle, bro.
We're liberating the VG33. Here, wait, let me get my light so we can actually see what we got going
Oh,
on.
that's right, because you have lights.
We have light! Give us light! We need a battery to power said light. Light! Behold the brightness.
Oh, more jobs.
It can sit on the tailgate, I don't care. It's not my tailgate. Alright, turn more, turn!
I got truck in the way.
Oh, okay, because you're gonna hit the garage.
That's as far as I can go. That's gonna push us forward a little bit.
If you readjust the whole truck more over. I have no idea what this guy's doing. Alright, there he goes. Straight back. Whoa! Alright, a little more. That's good. That's good. Stop. Jesus Christ. You're filling the place with exhaust, bro. Jesus.
Yeah, I had to because you did it to me.
Yeah, right. Alright, end of the light. Now we can get the crane back in here.
Ah, it smells like pure gas.
Yes, it does. Oh. I suppose I can set this back up in its little spot.
Oh, I got an Xbox One.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I mentioned that. Good job.
Lower up, boys.
Crank it, 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 crank it. Jeez, look at that. Woo.
Try to keep off your tail right there.
Yeah, man, I already replaced my passenger side.
Easy does them. This train's tipsy. Don't forget that.
Huh?
Train's tipsy. The floor's not low.
Alright,
Get her out of here. I'll put some diesel in the heater and let's get it warmed up.
So we're having the dilemma of the torque converter is in the way
getting it on the stand, but since the engine is seized, you cannot turn it to get to all torque converter bolts hidden in there. So. Yeah, bend it that way. Just need to give you a blindfold. That would hurt to land on your toes.
Look at that.
In the fucking scrap pile.
Holy crap.
We're basically tearing it through. Yeah. No messages from nobody?
No.
Oh, that sucks. When are these bitches gonna get here? It's almost 7.
Who?
A person trying to buy Xterra and stuff. I want to go to Quick Trip. I'm thirsty.
Take the caddy. What size are these? Jesus Christ. All right, I'll give you the honors of whacking her off.
All right, cool. Record. I'll do it. I need some victory.
Don't hit it too hard. Look at the.
It's fucking bent. God damn. Well, somebody resealed the oil pan at some point. We all that junk.
Mm-hmm. Break time.
All right, the mechanic's going to speak because God forbid, I'm just the one who does what he tells me to do.
You were there the entire time.
No one said I was the mechanic here, though.
Anyways, you remember because you remember the struggles we had in doing this, and this is all about to be filmed now. But what happened between what you just saw and what you're about to see is about, I would say, another 2 years or so. This was right after I moved to Topeka, so the truck and both the VG30 from the original truck and the VG33 from the Xterra and all the Xterra spare parts, I brought all of that to Topeka on 2 engine stands in the back of a U-Haul and set them up, and then they sat there for a while until you were able to come out and we dedicated a week or whatever to work on it, which was at the time where my work was going to shit. Andreas went down there and started yelling at everybody. Nobody will know what that's about, but it was really funny that was exactly when that happened. And I said, nope, I am off. I am not coming into work. They all wanted me to go into work because all the bosses were there, and I said, nope, I got a truck to work on.
It's like priorities.
Just for you, bud.
Priorities.
Priorities. So we had our priorities straight. So anyways, we're going to get to work on the engine now. And there's a lot of differences we found between the VG30 and the 33, but we improvise, adapt, overcome. Pretty much everything, I think. failed to record pretty much everything we did today, but we have our list for day 2. We're going to clean and paint the rest of our parts. We started on some of them, and once we get that done, we'll clean the shop and get ready for assembly, prep for assembly, and hopefully we'll get the engine completely assembled. And then lastly, clean and prepare for it to go in the truck. So clean up all our tools and whatnot. The potential problem so far is we have an exhaust manifold with a stud stuck in it, broken bolt. So that's fun. Hopefully that won't be a big deal. Biggest deal is oil pan ? We don't know what the situation is going to be on that exactly. I'm thinking we'll end up repairing the pan that we have, but yeah, that's a big if. Any questions about that?
Sounds good.
We'll keep the list short and simple for when one of these things takes way longer than it should. So we'll see you tomorrow. We're going to start today by cleaning and finishing painting the rest of the engine. There's all this stuff on the front, and then there's this nasty oil spots behind the balconies on either side that we'll clean and paint. So we're going to start with that. This bracket needs to come off and clean behind it, and same with this one. So we're going to start with that, and then we'll move on to all the rest of the parts that we have and hopefully start assembly soon. Can I ask your question again?
Alright, so are we putting this back together as a dry fit? Or are we going to be putting all new gaskets in and just going for it?
Everything we're going to do, once we get, I have like the last 2 brackets here that need to be painted. And once we have them finished cleaning and painting, we'll have all our parts, so we'll start cleaning up, and then we'll get another table from out back, like I said earlier, and lay out our gasket kits, and we'll do the full rebuild except for the oil pan, because we don't know what's going on with that yet. So we're going to try to put it in the truck with that oil pan and see what happens, and then go off of that. So made a lot of progress on paint and such, but you know, we'll see how she goes. Okay, so one of the problems, or one of the parts that we have to convert here, is the exhaust manifolds. This is the original VG30 manifold. We're trying to put it on the 33 block here. The original bolts are smaller from the VG33, or the VG30, so these are the VG33 bolts. They're larger and the holes are a little bit different, and it looks like all of them are able to fit in except for even this one can go in right here. This one right here, if you look straight on it, you can see that the hole is a little to the side, and due to that, I think we're just going to have to drill out the hole here on the exhaust manifold a little bit, make that hole a little larger so that way that bolt can scoot over and go in. But that looks like the only modification we're going to have to do on the exhaust manifold, at least here on the driver's side. I'll get the passenger side mocked up and figure out what we need to do with that side as well to make these manifolds fit, and then we can just bolt the stock exhaust right on. The other thing is we have these, well, these 2 are studs, they're fine, but I think on the other manifold we have a broken bolt in the manifold that we've got to fix too, so
We do.
that's fun. So with our exhaust manifolds, where is it? Give me one sec. These are the original bolts that we just seen that are super small and tiny, and with these, all the bolts are the same size. The new ones on the VG33, we have short ones and we have long ones of various lengths, and discovered that that's going to be an issue, and we're just going to need to buy new bolts, because 3 of these, the nut is seized and they're stripped on the stud there, so these are basically screwed, such as this one here. You can see the end of the threads are just gone, just completely stripped out. So that's a mess. The manifolds for the
D21, the distance here that the bolt has to go through is the same on every single hole. Whereas on the ones from the VG33, we have big ones and small ones. Therefore, the reason for the different links. So since we're not going to have these deep links on the manifolds that we're actually going to use, we're just going to need to go down and go get some bolts of the appropriate length and thread for these. So that's the other modification I guess we'll have to do, is a little bit of bolt change. So a bolt change and then expand the opening on one hole on each side. So that's what we got to do with that. We're just about finished. We got all of our parts cleaned, painted what we wanted to paint, and we're just about ready to get into the assembly process. So here in a minute we're going to get into start building the engine for real. Nice blue valve covers. I got 2 engine full rebuild, well not full rebuild, but full reseal kits. One for the new VG33 and this one is for the original VG30. And I know most of it's going to use the VG30, but we may end up using some stuff from the VG33 if we use its oiling setup and all that good stuff. So I'm going to start by opening this one up and separating everything and figure out what we're going to use, and so on and so forth. So probably get everything prepped and ready and probably do assembly tomorrow. So yay! With a project like this, there's always lots of bolts laying around. This one's not too terrible, but you know, there's ones like this that, if camera could focus, it's just full of grease, gunk, oil, and who knows what in the bottle. And so yeah, we're going to take all these that we can. I'm going to put them here in this washer fluid container.
Once that dries, as far as I'm concerned, it's painted.
Any random joke. I put them all in here. It's got like a little bit of water in there. And then also have some purple power here. Give it a little splash of that. And that's all you need. And it was sort of clear water, but it's already starting to get dirty. Basically, you just want to fill this thing with all the bolts and whatnot that you want to clean. And then once you have it full, you just start shaking around, and them running into each other sort of acts as them clanking around each other. They gnaw off all the grease and grime off of each other. It's like putting them in a sand pit, basically, and rumbling it around. And they eventually get themselves basically self-sandblasted by doing that. And then once I'm done, I have this bin here. I just poke some holes in it. Any other random jug that can hold water underneath it. You put that there, and then dump this out. All of the liquid drains into the bucket. All your bolts stay in here. And I'll show you that here in just a moment once I finish loading all these up. And then you can take all these, pour them out into a clean rag. Take that, shake that up, get them all dry, and then you have clean bolts. Now I'm going to go through with a wire wheel on every single one of them or something like that. I've now been shaking this up for the last 10 minutes or so, so let's see how these turn out. Container with a little bit larger opening might be recommended, but so far that's already an improvement. And this stuff isn't always wasteful. Sometimes I reuse it even though it's crummy for really nasty stuff, or to get the initial worst of it off, and then I'll go through with a cleaner batch afterward. Now If I come over here, just grab a clean rag. This aside. Lay that out. Dump all my bolts on there. There's quite a few and they already look alright, but just try and get around all the way around them like that, and then I'll work them like this, and you'll see the rags start getting dirty on the outside. And that's when you know you're making a difference. So I give it a couple, 3 minutes or so of doing this sort of thing with them, and then we'll lay them out. Most of these were pretty much black, but now they're mostly shiny silver now. Takes away a lot of the hard work, and they're dry and ready to install. If you wanted to, you could run them the same way but with a little bit of brake clean, and then they'll be ready for paint as well if you wanted to do that. But in this case, these are Nissan bolts. They're already got plating on them, so we'll use them as they are. This is the last part we're going to work on today. Is I'm going to reassemble this intake manifold, which is now pearly white and shiny, and it's going to look great on the top of this VG33. I'm just taking all the bolts that I have, and I'm just loosely going to fit everything up until I know that I have everything exactly how it was supposed to be, and then I'll come back and get everything tightened on just for this vacuum line and these little small brackets. It's just everything with 1/4 inch. I have my 1/4 inch set out for that, and then eventually come back and we're going to line out these letterings for the Nissan part in blue, so that way it matches the valve covers and it stands out and it looks super awesome. And that's going to wrap up our day, and we'll be back tomorrow with lots and lots of assembly and hopefully a nice shiny clean looking engine by the time we're done with it. So see you tomorrow. Okay, we're at the end of day 2. We have all of our parts cleaned, painted, prepped, ready. We're ready to do assembly. So clean and paint parts, knock that off. We cleaned everything up pretty well in here, so that way we have a good start for tomorrow. Problems, repair exhaust manifold, we figured that out, but we need to do a little shopping list here. We have to get some manifold bolts, because the bolts we have don't work, as we discovered. I need some larger drill bits for boring out a couple holes on those on the exhaust manifolds there, and we'll need to get some new spark plugs, since those that are in there right now are just being used as a paint decoy. So tomorrow's goal, I mean, we pretty much have assembly prepped, and we already pre-assembled the intake manifold there, which is kind of a mess in itself. So that's ready to go. So our goals tomorrow will be assemble engine, and this might be day 4 is what this might be. So we'll put D4, and we'll change this to D3. There we go. All good to go. Proceed.
Nice and tight. Love it.
You gotta really play with it to get it in the holes. Hold on, it's this one.
It's very tight. Doesn't help that it's tight here too.
It's a real snug fit.
Very snug. So much so that I'm struggling to get it up too.
Hold on. Let me see if I can just get a little light blockage on that side.
Nice and snug. There it goes. One side, other side. One side, other side.
Okay.
Not quite there.
No, it's sitting pretty flat.
I guess, yeah, once you cinch it down.
Yeah. So let the bolt handle the rest. It was that same way when trying to pull it off. So
Yeah.
that's not the way it did. we get a gasket in this one?
Hmm?
Is there a gasket
Yes,
in
there's
there?
a gasket in there. It's a
Okay.
really thin one, but yeah.
Okay. Just checking. So we got this little 90 degrees hoe here. Or not 90 degrees hoe. 90 degrees hose in there. Multiple hose, not just one. Yay, assembly process. Intake manifold is in. And it's starting to look good. And now I need to clean all the mess of these cam covers.
Where's the cable?
Let's see how nasty they are.
Pull that back one real quick.
You got,
One more?
yeah. If you just hold that end down, I can pull this off. There we are. Yeah, we just gotta clean up all that oil because these cam covers leaked like a sieve. Here, use. Give me. Wait. Use one of these dirtier rags first. Just get the bulk of it.
One at a time.
I can go ahead and pull this one off. Oh, the screwdriver's garbage.
What, we need to take sandpaper to it to get that clean, or what?
No. Spray a little brake clean on the rag and then wipe.
There you go, that's right.
Brake clean doing its work.
No, it works pretty quick too.
What a mess. Cam cover.
Which one's which? Does it matter? Which one has the oil one?
This side.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we'll have to use the pipe from your original. I'll take this off.
Why? Because it doesn't have because the original doesn't have this, or what?
This is
Oh,
what your,
it's missing that.
what your original looks like. It's a little different.
Oh no, it's split up here.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, that's
Or-
obviously a radiator.
Or actually, I think it was this way.
Yeah.
But see, it splits in a different spot. So,
This one probably, yeah, we'll probably swap it because this one's going to get in the way of the accessories, probably.
we'll see what happens.
Oh, you're actually missing. Oh, that's over there.
So then our next step will be getting our fuel injection rail up on here, and we'll have to bring the wiring harness in here and figure out all those things, as well as we still need to get this little hose on before we forget. And then distributor can go in. A whole bunch of stuff can happen right now. Everything is looking really good so far. I've got my fuel injectors rail in, mounted down. Our lower plenum here is in. Our cam covers are in. Matt is working on this crossover oil tube here from the cam covers, and I'm just about now to where I need to work with getting the wiring harness in and get all these plugged in. And I got this coolant tube in. I need to get these clamps in, which I probably should have done before I put the fuel rail on, but you know, get those done, and then distributor can go in, and then yeah, just stuff's happening today. Stuff is happening. More progress. Got our top plenum on. I got our wiring in. We've been playing with set top dead center and got the distributor in. Turns out that I put the throttle body on backwards. Let me see if I have a picture here of wherever it is, the front of the engine. And nope. Yeah. See, the sensors on the distributor side and the throttle body was on the right side there. I totally had that upside down. I didn't even know that it could go either way, but yep, done screwed that up. But got that fixed because the throttle body was running into the post of the distributor here, and I was like, how is that even possible? And then, oops, done goofed. It's ready to go. Keep moving along here. Gonna get some plug wires, some plugs. Then we gotta go get those bolts for the exhaust manifolds, and now we're trying to figure out the belt system. Pizza roll break?
No.
No.
Not until I figure out what fucking screws put that on.
Aw, okay, fine.
I checked all the screws and none of them fucking fit.
There should be a set of 3 bolts hanging around together somewhere. Or they were, I guess. Never mind. They're gone
The only
now.
thing that was in these 2 piles was stuff that was in a towel. So if you had 3 screws sitting outside of a towel, then...
No, they were probably a part of the towel. Let me look at the pictures here, because it was 3 different things. It was like
none of the screws that we have available, I can find none of the bolts that I can find, because they're supposed to be bolts, not screws.
it was like 2 bolts and then a nut, I think, and the 2 bolts were 2 different types of bolts.
But this one's only held on by 2. Because on that picture as well, what also I don't understand, if you look at this, on our picture of the original, this plate right here didn't exist. It was just this. So this is a different bracket, probably from the new engine. So,
Well,
but it only screws in here. We only need 2 for this one, and none of the ones that we have are threatening.
Well, we should be able to use the brackets from your original.
Well, these ones are already painted, so there's no reason. I mean, they're the exact same. It's just a small little add-on. But the only thing is that the brackets aren't the problem. The problem is finding a bolt that threads into the engine block. This thing will go on as long as it threads into the engine block, but I can't find 2 identical bolts.
I don't remember them actually matching. Okay, that's new engine. It's old engine. Old engine.
That's one, but this one's just not the same thread size. I mean, it's the same bolt, but for some reason the thread size is swollen. So, but I mean, even if it's a little swollen, I guess it will rethread itself. But like,
I see what you're looking at there. Yeah, and I see your original did not have that part.
but I mean, these should work. I'm just concerned about this trying to rethread itself because it's a little swollen.
You have no other bolts that fit that thread?
I mean, these are the exact same thread. They're the same kind of bolt. So,
But I mean, we don't have more out of our spare pile here?
these are from the spare pile.
And those are the only ones that fit in there?
These are the only 2 ones that match and that fit. Yes, everything else is too fat.
Yeah.
So.
If that bolt is too bad, we can always go hunt around the hardware department and see if we can find something.
It might work. Now the next question is what bolts work for this one? See if we can do it in this one.
For the other side, we got one bolt,
Which way does this orientate anyway?
similar fashion as the other one. Wait, that ain't.
Huh?
That's a different bracket.
That is a different bracket.
That's definitely a different bracket. Looking at the wrong bracket for that.
Well, we got to keep in mind that we're screwing into the new engine block, so.
Yeah, but these brackets, they should be the ones from your truck. They're not something we need to, like, because we're using all your hoses and all your electrical and all that, so those brackets should match up with your original. But I'm not sure where that bracket ran off to.
I mean, we would have thrown it into the used pile, I would assume.
I would assume either the used pile or the used bin.
But then.
Oh wait, no, I threw some brackets out here in the yard. This one. There's one that we need. Anything else out here?
Damn, that is foggy.
Ooh, cow going on.
Is there not a seal over here?
Oh yeah, and the engine's
I guess
installed.
the window itself is a seal. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess the window's installed.
Engine. All right.
Herder.
Oh, I was supposed to pop rivet it from the
Yeah.
top.
I think we need to do that now.
Dude, they're
Are
like
you
permanently installed?
Are you permanently installing that WD-40 can?
Wait, where? I mean, we could take this off.
I wasn't sure if it was tightened down in there. Just slip it out. Oh, it goes on top of it. Ah, yeah, yeah, it does.
I need a pair of fucking pliers. They're fucking good, dude.
Watch the paint. Nerd. Go ahead.
Yeah. I got the hood prop installed. We're all good. It's only gonna piss off the person who tries to get it.
Oh, you got a hood prop installed? That's gonna help a lot. Where the fuck is it? Hell yeah.
Be like, I'm not that dumb, okay?
Debatable.
Man, that's a nice Nissan you got there.
Nope, it's a Toyota now.
Y'all are
I better hear the.
See, my problem here is the Nissan is in my way to fix anything. And there's currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, could be 9 parking spots, but they're all full. That needs to be fixed so that way it can drive out back and wait for Matt to go pick it up. This needs a few little things, not much, and then it's a good drivable rig. We're registered, insured. Could just throw that in the back temporarily. That is supposed to go in the garage because that is not going to drive anytime soon. S, that's the letter. Yep. Montero also isn't going to move anytime soon, but it's kind of out of the way. This drives, it can go around back, but I do need to fix a tire on it. It has a very slow leak. And Camry can move around back, no problem. MR2 probably needs some things. I don't know. New torque converter's junk. Gonna fucking pitch that shit.
Fuck that shit.
Garbage. Oh, dude, I can smell it already. Oh, it's rank. It's gotta be rank.
Yeah, she's old. That's old gas.
Oh, I don't know if that's gonna run. Oh, no.
That's put like 5 gallons of new gas in it.
Oh, that is bad.
Got a drain plug? Where's the gas tank? Yeah, it's way up there.
It's over here on the side. And yeah, no drain plug as I remember. First things first, let's see if we hear a fuel pump at all. Where's the key? See if I can. No, try to figure out how to get it in there. There we go.
There's a lot going on.
There's wipers are on. How the fuck do I turn those off? There we go.
Whoa, okay. This thing's gonna be loud if it fucking cranks. I mean, if it fucking fires, dude. That sounds awful. What is that?
What?
That sounds awful.
It's open headers. I don't hear fuel pumpy. Let's put timing light on a spark plug wire and see if we got spark.
Okay.
I'm giving it just enough so that way it just goes bow, and that's it.
Wake up, Jessica.
There's no like transmission lines or nothing. Can you lift that up?
Sprayer in there. Alright.
That's more than enough.
Ah,
The hee 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 ha.
oh, man. We're missing something. Dude, that scared the shit out of me, dude!
I told you she'd run.
Holy fuck! Dude, open headers is no joke. I felt like I just got kicked in the chest.
I told you she'd run.
Alright, here we go. Look at her purr! It's only been 7 years. Small vacuum leak, but we'll find it.
Following that, looks like his winning all gears fine. Says it's stable, no shakes, no vibrations. Oil pressure at resting is 10 to 15, so it's a little on the low side. I'm not sure if that just might be its normal. Oil level's full, so we're monitoring. It does go up to about 40 when it's moving, so I think we're good. It might just be its normal. So, anyways, getting down to the tire shop. We're about to put on the new Escalade 17s with Toyo Cruxes, and it's gonna look good. These wheels just got machined. That cost $350 to bore out the hubs, and that way they'll fit on the truck without any modifications. It's gonna look good. Right now we're trying to keep at kind of 60-ish because those tires that are on it are 7 years old. So try not to have them blow to pieces. Okay, so engine rebuild just got finished and the engine got installed in the truck. You want to tell me about installing that engine into that truck? Because I wasn't there for that. That was a you and Brian special with a tractor.
It did not want to go in. Lord knows, it did not want to go back in. We got it out just fine, but it did not want to go back in.
How long did it take?
It took us the entire day just to get it back in once. And then we found out that the engine mounts weren't lining up properly because it wasn't sitting correctly, and we couldn't adjust it without taking it all the way back out and putting it back in again. So we had to do that the next day. So this was a 2-day process just to get it lined up correctly. And in the meantime, it scratched the paint a lot all over the engine bay. It did not want to go in very well. But we got her in.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, you were sad about that, I remember. And
Yeah.
because at this point I had to go back to work, and you guys had still been working on the truck.
That was a lot of coats of paint, and it managed to cut through quite a few of them.
And then
you can't just touch that up.
I don't remember, but I remember also I had to go down there and take out the trans and put it back in or something. There's a whole issue with the trans.
Yeah, we got the engine mounted, but then the trans didn't mount correctly when we got the engine mounted. And there was a whole ordeal with that one. I think part of that was the gear wheel, flywheel.
Yeah, we had
Part of that was the flywheel. We ended up having to get like 3 different flywheels until finally that we ended up getting the right one because they kept giving us the wrong one when we were ordering it.
Yeah. And
we
then
finally got that working.
you also had to get a new torque converter, which I didn't remember until going back through the footage. Our torque converter options were shit. So we had the VG33 one, which didn't fit, and then we had the VG30 one,
Which wouldn't work anymore.
which wouldn't work anymore. I forgot because we bashed it off with a hammer.
took a sledgehammer to it.
And because I assumed the torque converter was already bad from the thing, so I was like, well, we're going to get a new one anyway. And then I forgot about it, and I forgot that it was wrecked.
Yeah, and we didn't realize it until we had already reinstalled the trans.
Yeah.
When we reinstalled the trans, we're like, why isn't it working? And then Cody's like, oh yeah.
Torque converter's fucked.
So then I stopped Cody, and we got it.
Yeah,
pulled out again.
$300 later, and a whole lot of labor.
Oh yeah.
So,
It's like you couldn't have thought of this beforehand. Reminded me beforehand. Be like, come on, man.
but then after that, so that was like the whole engine build thing. That was like a 2-week trip, and then you moved out, and then we worked on it more until it was driving. How did it feel when it started up for the first time? After how long it had
When
been?
it started up for the first time, great, because there was a lot of things that we had to do to get it to start up the first time because it had been sitting for like 8 years. So had to do a little bit of fuel line stuff too.
Yeah, how'd you feel about doing all that fuel tank work?
So it felt great when it first started. But as soon as we started it, we ran into more problems. So then my enthusiasm was kicked to the curb pretty quick. But then we got the other problems fixed that we ran into and went and got it driving for the first time. And mind you, the tires were crap at the time, but we drove that thing around the block. We're like, screw it.
Yeah,
it worked.
I remember, and it felt good. It drove good.
And then we ran into more problems.
Yeah.
Because the radiator cracked.
Yeah. So off camera, this thing decided, like, we had reused the radiator, which maybe wasn't a great idea. But the radiator had just been sitting there empty this whole time, and it was perfectly fine when I took it out. So I thought no reason to change it. It only has 60,000 miles on it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then as it turned out, the radiator has its own transmission cooler inside of it, and that came apart inside, and coolant mixed with transmission fluid and filled the transmission with coolant and turned into strawberry milk. So we spent a lot of money on fluid and draining it over and over and over until we got fresh fluid in the thing and flushed out.
And we got a external trans cooler and a brand new radiator that's not tied into the trans. So
Yeah, let's see if I can see that real quick. So we got this aux cooler back here. This is a stacked row cooler with its own aux fan, and that thing cools really good. This cooler is in almost all the cars with automatics because it keeps shit ice cubes.
yeah, there's something like similar to that on most semis too, if you've seen them.
Yeah, anything big, especially towing, you need that. So for this little truck, it's super overkill, but it's good. So we got that done. It's ran with all AN lines. Like, we had this beautiful setup. It's isolated from the radiators, so we're not gonna have that problem. And you bought a new radiator. So we were ready to go.
Yeah, and then we went and got $1,000 tires. Woo, boy, it felt good to drive off out of the tire shop with those. I was like, ooh, these are shiny and new. I love it.
Oh yeah, and they look good. And mind you, this is of course after we had to spend $300 to get the wheels machined, so that way they would fit.
And then we ran into more problems.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, the chrome peel on those rims that Cody got me ended up being pretty bad. They seated fine, but then after about a week, 3 of the 4 tires went flat. And I was like, ah.
Yeah, that chrome peel, you can see that one in the corner is still down.
Yeah.
The other 3 are doing okay, but yeah. Well, one of them has changed to a non-chrome, I think.
Yeah, so basically we need to tear all the tires off again. That's a future project and get them re-chromed. But yeah.
Yeah.
It felt great. Basically, it felt great. You know, once we got it driving, we fixed the problems that kept popping up over and over and over again, and went and got new tires, and it was all nice and shiny and running.
And it ran good. Ran nice. It ran so good.
Until it didn't. Okay.
Okay, so then the truck was nice and pretty. It ran smooth. It looked really good. Like the weather was nice, and this thing was shiny out there in the yard. And so we decided Matt had to go get some stuff from his place in Texas, and we're in Kansas, and it was a 12-hour drive. And we decided, well, we have our truck. We had a couple things to take to Texas as well. Remember, we loaded in a dresser and a safe to go to my uncle's, and we got that loaded up, and we made it about halfway there, and
Middle
then
of Oklahoma.
yeah, and basically almost middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. This thing starts having.
No, it wasn't middle of nowhere. It's a pretty popular spot, but pretty common.
We started having problems in the middle of nowhere, but we made it. We made it to a spot.
To a hotel.
But the transmission decided it's time. I think that coolant being mixed in, we couldn't get it cleaned good enough, I guess, because it started slipping, and then it was losing fluid. We don't know where, but it wouldn't leak whenever we stopped. We'd have it stopped and running, and it would not be leaking. It wouldn't be dripping at all, but there'd be fluid everywhere. Go in, add fluid, still not leaking a drop. We'd go to drive, fluid everywhere. It would lose its fluid. And we don't know
for about 15 miles.
Yeah, and we don't know how hot the trans got.
Blackout.
Yeah, and this was at night, and we don't know how hot it got because we didn't have a sensor for the trans temp yet.
Yeah, because we bought a 6N instead of an 8N.
Yeah, we bought a temp sensor adapter to go into the AN line, and we got the wrong size, and so we got the gauge there, but it ain't reading nothing. So. Yeah, and I think we probably made it like 30 miles like that with it slipping a little bit. And then I remember I went in to drive, and we finally got close to that one town, and it started slowing down, and it was losing gears. It was like down to second. And then I hopped on the exit ramp, and we just lost everything. Full pin.
Pulled up into a Brahms, and we get out, look under the thing, and there's just trans fluid everywhere.
Oh yeah, mass murder under there.
Oh yeah, I felt bad for the Brahms parking lot because Lord have mercy, we were not able to clean that up very well.
Yeah, that poor Brahms franchise, man.
It made a big old mess.
They got stains to this day, I guarantee it.
Guaranteed it.
And so we had to sleep in a hotel, remember? Because we had to wait on Brian to get off of work and grab my truck and trailer and haul ass 6 hours down to us. And so he gets here at about 9 a.m. and we pick up the truck. And remember, we left a giant dick stain because of the way the truck was. We had to back the truck up to a spot where we're ready to turn, and then it dumped a big old round puddle there. And then we turned the truck a little bit, but we had to stop and get the winch hooked up again. And so then it made another big round puddle right there. And then as we winched it up, it just kept making the just straight, probably a 16-foot long dick.
And it finally ran out of fluid right as it hit the trailer too. So like it stopped dripping anything as soon as we hit the trailer.
Yeah, as soon as we hit the trailer, it was done, just little driplets. So it was even squirting.
Good Lord.
then I got on the trailer. There was no leak on the trailer, but we got the thing brought home, and it's been down ever since.
No. We got the thing home after a lot of truck problems with Cody's truck, so I mean that trip home was a hot mess too.
Oh yeah, we had to pull over a few times because my crank sensor wiring was fucked. I had electrical tape it. Basically it was the wires were exposed at the pigtail and touching each other.
That entire trip was just a mess.
And so every time that they would touch each other, it'd like start running rough and eventually kill the truck. So I eventually fixed that, and it now has a new pigtail, but that was after it. That we pulled over probably 3 times for that.
It was more than that.
3, 5, I don't
Yeah,
know.
quite a few, yeah.
It was rough until I could actually figure out what it was and tape it.
Yep. And it was hot that day.
Yeah, and it was hot, and that truck doesn't have AC and all that stuff. It was a fun time. Yep. And then I had to tow this thing again out here to Kentucky.
Yep.
But yeah, so the next step for this thing is pull trans out.
Pull trans and rebuild trans. But then, hey, everything on this truck will be brand new.
Yeah.
Engine will be rebuilt. Transmission will be rebuilt. All the cooling, all the lines will be rebuilt. Have hit all brand new AC lines, brand new trans lines, brand new cooler lines, everything.
You want to show 'em under here? See what we do have? Because we don't have
I didn't do it.
we don't have any film on.
I am pretty sure I just jammed something through my slipper, but I digress. Oh, I did. I tried stabbing myself with a piece of plastic.
Nice. I don't remember how to open this. I've opened this 1,000,000 times.
It's been, what, 3 years?
No, it's been last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
Even I don't know how to open this.
I brought this thing over, 6 months ago.
Oh, yeah, that's because we have that little bunged up handle. We got a little damage when we reinstalled it. It's like sitting really low.
Ah,
Yeah, this little lever here is a little too low.
I see. Where's its hook thingy? There it is. Down. Right there. But you can see it's all clean and
Well,
new under here.
Was.
But you have a couple touch-up spots.
There's a lot of brake clean, a lot of transmission
Oh
fluid,
yeah,
and a lot of
we had
gas.
the fuel leak there, and the fuel burned the paint off that deal.
My beautiful engine bay is not beautiful anymore.
The rest of it is okay.
I'm crying.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have a safe fuse block system on this thing for your accessories. I forgot I added that. So we have a 100 amp circuit breaker, which goes to a ignition switch solenoid, and then he's got a fuse box here that he can plug whatever accessories he wants and run safely.
Yep. Got brand new brake lines, brand new fuel lines, brand new cooler lines. It just needs brand new AC. We don't have any AC in it yet.
Oh yeah, we need AC lines. Oh, remember the power steering debacle?
That was a thing.
So yeah, the part of this setup is that the front accessory drive now is VG33 pulleys and accessories instead of VG30 with the V belts. So this has serpentine rib belts, but that required a bunch of modifications to make all that work too. But hey, I mean, I couldn't be more pleased with how well this thing runs though.
Well, when it runs.
But you know, just engineering.
Yeah.
Ignore what's behind it.
It'll start.
Yeah. But yep,
It'll start.
that is.
It's also a brand new battery too, although it doesn't look it. It's a little dirty.
Yeah, but it is new.
But yeah, she runs smooth. There was a lot of timing issues. Had map issues. We had spark plug coil issues.
Luckily, we had Brian's Pathfinder as a donor.
Oh yeah, we had a nice example right there.
Yeah, so that helped.
And also, yeah, parts donor, because we kept stealing his map until I got a new one.
We stole all his parts. He stole a couple from you initially.
Coil, map, all that, yeah.
Yep.
This thing was a right pain in the butt. Still is, I think. I think it's still a little finicky, but it works.
Yeah, that was a trick. And then the other part of changing to VG30 was from 33 was the distributor swap. That was different. There's a lot of things, but it's in and it's working, and that's where it's at now. After all this time, so
It's a little dirty, but it doesn't look too bad.
once it gets a trans, this thing is going to be super solid for a long time.
And if not, I've been told that we're just going to go ahead and LS swap it because I have no choice in the matter.
Yeah, if this blows up, it's getting LS swap. Sorry, haters. All right, that's a wrap.